All right, what's poppin', party people? You know what it is. It's another segment of Pop Talk. This is your man, Professor Nims. I'm signing on for Boston Jared,
Peace.
Coach Dave,
Bro.
and our man, the casual Ran. He might pop in a little bit later, but he's on location right now, so he can't join us. But we make up the pundits of pugilism, and we want to thank y'all first of all for rocking with us. Make sure that you do like and subscribe to the channel. We on our way to 1K, as they say, and we want to actually take out this time to engage with some of the comments that we've had from some of our viewers and everything, to make sure that, to let you know that we are reading your comments. We do take them as kind of critical feedback, or as a way to help us with our performance and stuff. And we want to also address some of the comments that you may have. So this week we're gonna give a shout out to Kimchi at Kimchi4685, who in his assessment felt that Devin Haney needs to not only go and kind of seek a new camp, a new training, but he specified a camp, and he talked about Kronk Gym. And if you know anything about Kronk Gym, they are infamous for helping fighters really, really develop that brick right hand, right? That one hitter quitter in that instance. And so we're going to kind of talk about and debate if that is a good move. So first of all, just, is it a good move for him to just bring in some new voices, some new philosophy into his camp? And then would Kronk Gym be the ideal place for him to go? So Coach Dave, just based off your expertise and knowledge, and you know your growing expertise, he's still a coach, he's still a promoter. What are your thoughts on that suggestion by Kimchi4685?
Yo, let me first say, yo, Kimchi, my man. Hey, that was a good call, Kimchi. And to be honest with you, man, I didn't even think about it myself. Now let me say that me and the other pundit, I think you may have saw the casual Rand's comments on there. So we kind of at an odds, but I'm 100% with Kimchi on this one. I think it would be great because if you think about it, he kind of fits that mold. Now, Casual Rand has said that he thought, hey, man, look, Stewart, those guys only train heavyweights. But, man, no, man, he forgot about Thomas Hitman Hearns, Mark Breland, Obakar, Wilfred Benitez came out of there. I could go on and on and on. But I think it's a pretty solid, it would be a solid move for Haney, man. Yeah, his chin might be weak. People take punches differently when they get hit. Haney's go straight to his leg, but that boy kept getting up. That boy got up 3 times. So to be able to teach him that distance that we saw Thomas Hearns do, but then put that thump that we saw Thomas Hearns put on Roberto Duran, and put him to sleep, I think it might be awesome. And whatever they did to fighters as they got older and went up in weight, because remember when Hearns came in at 147, as he got older and went up, remember what his back looked like. Remember the weight, and the strength that they put on Hearns, man. So, bro, that if Bill can humble out, I would roll that joker right over there to the Kronk Gym, man, and see what they can do. So my man Kimchi, just a great call, I think, man. That's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, and for those who who will say, like, Manuel Stewart, passed away, recipes, and we're talking about the philosophy that permeates through that boxing gym and that camping. And so the kind of the main head that a lot of people would refer to is Sugar Hill, who is the trainer of Tyson Fury, and to me has kind of really revolutionized his style and made him into a power puncher, somebody who had pity pat punches. But that was an example of somebody who was mainly just a boxer that wasn't looking to stop people, even as a heavyweight, to somebody who goes out and looks to stop his opponents.
Yep.
Boston Jared, what say you? What are your thoughts on Haney bringing in some new voices into his camp, and do you think that Kronk Gym would align well with his skill set?
Yeah, I would say 100% he needs to bring somebody else into his camp. They've done that in the past. It's not like that's something that has to happen before. I know that they had worked with Ben Davidson, if I'm not mistaken, in the past.
Yeah.
They had at one point or another, they had Mike McCallum in that camp. Mike McCallum, one of my all-time favorite fighters.
Snatcher. Yeah.
But just because you're a good fighter doesn't make you a good trainer. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of training chops that Mike McCallum has. So yeah, again, it's something that they've tried in the past. But it looks like going forward, it's something they're going to have to revisit, because I just don't think, and I think I pointed this out in our prediction for that fight, man. I said if this fight gets crazy, Derek James is who I want in my corner, giving me instruction, and not Bill Haney. And Bill Haney's lack of experience and his lack of ability, I think, definitely had an adverse effect on the fight, contributed to the results. But yeah, so that's that. As far as him going to Kronk, no, I think a strong disagree for me on the pick with Kronk. Devin Haney is a guy that, like Nassim Richardson said, he has to learn how to swim without getting wet. And to utilize that Kronk style, I feel like you've got to be able to take it. You got to be able to take shots, because that Kronk style is going to put you in the fire. And when you burn, you said what?
I think he can take shots, man. I mean, I let you finish.
I don't think he can take shots.
Go ahead on finish your thought.
I'd rather you cut in. I think it's better when we do cut in. Anyway, look. No, I first of all, when he fights guys his own size, I don't think he can take shots from guys his own size. That's one. Two, that Kronk style is gonna put him right in the fire. It's gonna put him right in the heat. And he's a guy that I don't know how well he's gonna do in the heat. My opinion, I think that he needs to seek out somebody from the Cuban school of boxing, somebody like a Ishmael Salas or a Pedro Diaz, maybe even a Guillermo Rigo, who apparently is starting to get his feet wet as far as being a trainer. But maybe even somebody from the Eastern European school, somebody who is going to get more out of that amateur style, somebody who is used to taking heavily indoctrinated amateurs and maximizing that style to the utmost and having them apply it in a professional setting. So I think a Cuban, like I said, somebody like a Salas or a Pedro Diaz or a Joel Casamayor, one of those guys who can show him how to get the most out of that linear in and out, 1-2, 1-2, in and out type of style. Sugar Hill, I think that's, if we were doing a total rebuild from the ground up, I would say, hey, go ahead, give it a try. But I don't think this is a total rebuild. Like I said last week, I think this is more of a partial rebuild or a soft rebuild. Yeah, it's not like he actually got knocked out, right? You know, he didn't get knocked out. The fight was competitive. He did win more rounds. If he had stuck to his game plan, if he had remained disciplined, he could have maybe had won that fight. I'm not sure. But no, Kronk, no. Cuban school of boxing, yes. I think one of those guys that I mentioned can really, really help him optimize that style that he has.
That's a good point. And so, Coach, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna weigh in, then I'm gonna let you just kind of come in and just kind of wrap up this segment. But so one thing that I would say that and this actually just kind of came from some of the conversations that we've had during this discussion. in the sense that I think that with Haney, I do agree with Boston to a sense that I think that he does struggle to take punches. I think part of it is that I think that he really depletes himself to make these weights. I'm not sure if it has to do with his outer ring kind of lifestyle or what it is, but I think that he does struggle against good punches to take punches. And defensively, and I think he's been good enough to kind of hide and not have that negatively impact him. I think because he is so disciplined and that he is in shape, that's what really helps you recover and actually keep going on. It's just like if you are in really, really good shape and doing the leg work and stuff like that, like you will be able to recover. But this is one thing I want to kind of throw out there. It's a bit of a monkey wrench. So I think that there should be not a total rebuild, but you should bring in somebody into your camp. The Cuban trainer, Salas is a good example, or maybe even somebody who is just kind of a specialist, a defensive specialist. I'm not going to go the Mayweather route because he hasn't proven to be a good trainer. Necessarily he's a great boxer, but maybe even his pops
hate each other. Him and his pops apparently fucking want to kill each other, but
he does. So like the Mayweather,
yeah, I think Floyd's
and Haney Senior, they go at it also.
No, not Mayweather Senior, but it's tough for me to imagine Floyd Senior. Plus, Floyd Senior's got to be, he's getting up there in age, man.
Yes, but it's a lot of trainers out there. But so let me throw this out there. I think that Haney should closely watch what Ryan Garcia is doing over the next few weeks and months, and maybe even go right back in with the rematch. Do you know why? Because this reminds me of when Sugar Ray Leonard fought Roberto Duran the first time, and he got beat by Roberto Duran. Part of it is he fought the wrong fight. And then what he did was Roberto Duran was going on a world tour. He was like enjoying himself. He was eating, he was drinking, he was doing all these other things. And Sugar was in camp. He was getting himself ready. He took his ego away. I think almost everybody will agree that if Devin was not fighting, if he would let his ego go, then I think he could have easily won that fight. And even though I don't think they're going to do it, because I did hear some whispers about Sando Martin being the next opponent, but I think he can go right back in there and even embarrass Ryan Garcia through a purely boxing display, not trying to left hook with the left hooker, not trying to prove a point, but then but he needs to tweak a couple of things defensively. There is no reason why you are constantly getting caught with that left hand. Like you can easily, even if you do the Mayweather shell correctly, that is essentially meant to catch the left hook. It's just
he drops his hand every time he jabs. That bow and arrow jab that you talking about, every time he stands,
exactly,
right hand goes right.
Yeah, but like Coach knows, there are techniques that you could do. You could put a glove under his arm and then have him jab the whole, just 6 rounds with that. And every time he goes back and pulls back, that glove is gonna fall. Make him do 10 push-ups or something from there. But if he tweaks those things, you can fix that.
Absolutely. Absolutely, you can.
Yeah. But all right, so I did say.
But remember, just real quick, I want to just jump in real quick because a couple of things you said, man. What's it called with the Ray Leonard Duran analogy? One, those fights played out differently. That Duran Leonard one played out much differently than Ryan Devin did. That's one. Two. Let me
interject though. But let me interject. So remember that fight. What happened what happened in the first round between that Roberto Duran fight and Sugar Ray Leonard. Do you remember that fight?
I don't remember exactly the first one. I haven't watched
If
that
you go,
fight in a while.
I do. I watch it. He got caught with a left hook. His legs wobbled and all this other stuff like that. And then he got so much into wanting to get it back that he literally fought he fought the wrong fight, but it was that he got caught early in the first round, and it changed his whole fight plan. If you go back to that fight.
Also, you talking about a guy in Ray Leonard who was a decorated amateur, was he a gold medal winner?
Yeah, gold medal winner. Yeah,
a gold medal winner,
original golden boy. Yeah.
A guy who has stopped Wilfred Benitez going into that, a prime Wilfred Benitez, and it stopped him prior to that Duran fight. You're talking about a Roberto Duran, probably the best lightweight ever, who had stopped Kenny Buchanan, who had stopped my man, the Puerto Rican kid that he fought a couple times. I mean, you're talking about two. It's kind of, to me, it's almost an apples to oranges comparison when you're comparing those two. I get what you're trying to say. The other thing, though, Cam, is this: Leonard was the A side in that equation. So Leonard could tell Duran, hey, this is when we fighting. I want to fight him. I want to fight blah, blah, blah. And Duran kind of acquiesced to whatever Leonard wanted because Leonard was the A side. That's not the case here. Ryan Garcia is the A side. So Devin Haney can't be like, yeah, I want a rematch. Ryan Garcia, I said, I don't want a rematch right now. I got moving on to bigger and better things. So I don't know, man. They try to take advantage of Ryan, and Ryan ended up taking advantage. Ryan ended up taking advantage of them, man. And I don't know that they're gonna be able to get this one back right away, man. I don't know that it's a good idea to try it either.
It is, but I mean, if you think about it, they'll definitely make sure that Ryan hits the weight. There'll be some type of rehydration. They won't let him blow back up. But I think
why not? What do you mean? What made you think that Ryan will agree to any of that? Well, it's not about Devin letting Ryan do anything. It's about what Ryan wants.
Well, no,
Ryan's
but I mean, to me, it's like you should not be sanctioning bouts when somebody is blatantly not hitting the weight and then taking advantage of that stuff. So Devin could have easily not fought that fight, and then everybody would have came down on him. But he was perfectly within his rights not to. Somebody miss that. People say, "Oh, it's only 3." People who say that are people who have never boxed and who have never had to make weight or whatever.
Yeah, we understand.
Even if
you're
you wrestled before, 3.2 pounds when you're 140 pounds, that's come on, that's
Ryan.
That's almost 2% of your body weight. I think that's over 2% of your body weight. That means a whole lot.
The thing is, though, Cam, the sanctioning bodies, as we've pointed out on this show over and over again, the sanctioning bodies are in this for the money. Ryan Garcia represents money. Ryan Garcia is the A side. Ryan Garcia has all the leverage at the negotiating table, and he pulled that big-time A side move. He did what the hell he wanted to do. The fight went on, and he was able to take advantage of being the A side, man. So I'm with you, but the reality is the reality, man. The sanctioning bodies aren't going to come down on Ryan Garcia when it comes to Devin Haney. Now, if he tries that shit with Tank, it's going to be something totally different because you're talking about Ryan maybe is the co-A side at this point, maybe not, maybe still the B side. He's not going to – you can't risk Tank and his team pulling out of the fight because you can't make weight. That's different. Devin Haney's going to have to fight because the network – needs him to fight. They need to show their worth to the network. If they had pulled out of that fight, Cam, that would have been a disaster for them. That would have been disastrous.
It would not have been. It would have that disaster would have been at the feet of Ryan Garcia, who was unprofessional the whole way through.
But how would that have played out in the media, though, Cam? I get it. You right.
It would have been like crazy boxer who was drinking the week of the fight comes in, blows off the weight, and then they would have put in that they had a backup for him. They had a backup, and then it would have totally taken away Ryan Garcia's credibility because the guy was showing erratic behavior the whole time. He actually got they brought in a psychologist to kind of talk to him in there. It would have if Devin Haney would have taken a bit of a dent, you know, in his thing, but at the same time,
more than a bit, I think.
There was, but at the same time, they got duped. For one thing, is that they didn't even ask for a weigh in the next day. And Eddie Hearn, who Eddie Hearn was a part of this fight, but he was only there as a friend of Haney. He wasn't promoting, he wasn't doing anything, and he said that he would have had a second weigh in for the rehydration, which is at the minimum that is what you do. But Devin Haney was afraid because he knows that he blows up between his fights.
Well, that's to say, because that sword cuts both ways.
It cuts both ways. So I want to give Coach Dave kind of like close out this segment. Just kind of respond to any of those suggestions, but go ahead, Coach, with your knowledge.
Yeah. All right, man. Look, okay. So see, one of the things I love about Professor Nims is he's like me, and he not. I wouldn't say he's like me. I would say I'm like him. He is a boxing historian. He knows those past fights. Now, so two things. Let me go back to Kim Shee real quick and address the first thing that Boston said about this Kronk stuff. I think what Boston said, that, you know, that Kronk's gym, he mixing it up a little, it might be mixing it up a little too much. Bottom line is, let me quickly explain that Kronk style of boxing. It is known and described throughout several articles as an aggressive style of fighting with solid fundamentals that utilizes everything behind the jab. Devin Haney got everything to fit in that mold, especially those fundamentals. He's already like that joker's a masterful boxer, bro. But it's not an effective aggressive, because we know he don't like to fight coming forward, but understanding when to apply that pressure and that aggressive. If you want a prime example of it, take a look at Thomas Hearns when he fought James Schuler. Stop that joker in the first round. That effective aggressiveness, when to apply and when to pull back with those solid fundamentals, all surrounded by just learning how to throw a devastating right hand. I think Kronk gyms would be perfect for him. Now back to the historian point. Cam, boy, when you said take a look at Ryan Garcia and Haney and try to get right back up in there like Sugar Ray Leonard did, and bro, we got to see how history is repeating itself. Yeah, we had the Four Horsemen back then, and in terms of the Spanish or Mexican, you know, is it Teofimo? Is it Ryan Garcia? You know, well, right now Ryan Garcia is up on that thing. You know, so one of them. You know, we got Haney and Shakur Stevenson. You know, so but it is this fight is exactly to me, maybe a little different nuances of what happened between Leonard and Duran, brother.
A lot different.
Duran in the negotiations, what they had a smaller ring. You know, that was one of the biggest things that Leonard was complaining about, and then during the fight, remember all the press stuff where Duran shot Leonard's wife the finger, shot Leonard the finger. He got all into.
That is true. Yeah. He got
out this fight, man. He got all into Leonard's mind, and Leonard made a statement. I will find it. But Leonard made a statement where he literally said, "I'm a boxer. I didn't dance." Now, don't quote me on this, but I'm telling you what I know. I'm a boxer. I didn't dance. He said when I got into the ring, he literally said my purpose was to either knock him out or annihilate him or something. Bro, y'all gonna make me find a quote. I'm telling you, Leonard said that when he got into the ring, he wasn't a dancer when he did that fight, and he threw his whole game plan out the window. He went at Duran trying to knock him out. This was an interview that this dude gave, that Leonard gave. So it is so parallel to that fight that I think you're spot on it, Cam. If Haney going that Joker, if he even did just what half of what Tank did to take away that jab and that hook, it would have been a whole different fight, I think. So I just wanted to bring in that historical perspective of the four horsemen for this generation, and how comparable it is to what was going on, back in the past. I just think it's delicious, man. That's why I love the sport, man.
Yeah. So Boston, I'll go ahead and give you last word, because I know you had.
I was gonna rather go back and forth. And just to me, it's just to me, it's a completely apples and oranges comparison. Are there similarities that are there? Yes, you can pick out similarities. Yes, Duran got under Ray Leonard's skin, and Leonard went out and fought the wrong type of fight. Arguably, to me, it was more of Duran dictating the pace of that fight, and Leonard stylistically fighting the wrong fight. I thought Leonard was on his back foot a little too much. I thought Duran did a much better job. He was a much better infighter, or much better at working out of the clinch in that fight. He did an excellent job of cutting off that ring, keeping that lead hand on Ray Leonard's waist as he tried to escape along the ropes. You're just talking, guys, we're just talking about you're talking about all-time great level guys going at it against two guys who are pretty good. You're talking about two pretty good fighters, I guess. To me, it's just it's the wrong comparison, man. These guys couldn't hold Duran and Leonard's jock straps, man. So the compare
but that's true. But
he wrong.
But their
man.
levels are comparable, though. Like when you talk
whose
about
levels,
Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, like their levels are comparable. So it's not like you have an all-time great and then somebody who's not and whatnot. When you talk about Duran and you talk about Leonard, those are both all-time greats. So even if their level is just below theirs, it's still comparable in the sense that it's not one fighter who's demonstrably better than the other, right?
But Duran is not a 5'10" guy Duran is a shorter guy with a reach disadvantage who had an awkward pressure kind of a style. Ryan Garcia is not that at all. Ryan Garcia is taller than Haney. He has longer arms than Haney.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a total one-to-one doing that. But
that's what I'm saying. It's not.
No, but what I'm saying, the coach's point was that Duran was doing a lot of antics before the fight to really get under Leonard's skin. Like he was like,
it did, but Duran made weight though.
Totally disrespected. He totally disrespected his wife and all that. Yeah, Duran was actually coming up,
and Duran was coming up.
Yeah, but what I was saying is that, but if you go and watch that fight, it'll be eerily similar, because that first round, and I'll even pull it up for the viewing audience. He shook Leonard, like his legs like wobbled with a left hook in the first round, and then
he got him with the hook. But that fight didn't play out that way. That first fight played out with Duran applying pressure to Leonard and Leonard trying to move along the ropes. This is not what happened in this fight. This was Haney coming forward, applying pressure to Ryan, and Ryan countering the jab with the left hook. It's just guys, like, go ahead, Dave.
No, bro. So now you talking about the historical, man. You probably was 2 years old when the fight was going on, bro.
Yeah, I was, but I tell you what, that fight was on in my house, and I've watched that fight probably 10 or 11 times. I don't remember that punch that Cam saw. I've seen that fight a bunch of times.
But here's the deal. So Jay, I guess what gets me, going back to when we first started this show, the thing that used to frustrate me the most is you gotta take a holistic look at this stuff. So what I'm getting at, Jay, and all fighters are gonna be different, bro. You can say here all you want to. These fighters back then, these fighters back then. But what's not gonna be different is what approach should I take in this fight? So the fight plan, bro. You can't escape that. I found the quote. I literally found a Ring magazine. Listen at this. So what I'm getting at is where it's most comparable and comparable is that Haney did not fight the fight plan that he should have fought to beat this guy. That's where the similarities come in at. Not even with the stylistic stuff of the boxer. And Ray Leonard was not moving up and down that rope. He did that the second fight when he made this joker quit. Listen at what Leonard said, bro. Listen at what he literally said. And this is a quote from Ring magazine. He said, and this is Ray Leonard. I trained to box, to use my height, to use my reach, and to do this and that. But all of that went out of my mind when I entered the ring. All I wanted to do was beat him up, annihilate him. I couldn't remember the word that he used, annihilate him. You had Haney's daddy, his stupid, getting in it. We're going to kill him. Don't let your kids watch it. I'm telling you, man. So Ray Leonard said he went in there with the same. Ray Leonard tried to sit here and bang with hands of stone, bro. That first fight, and got exactly what you said. You know, but that second fight, he came in and did what Cam talked about. That different, I think a different fight approach would make that fight a totally different fight. So that's what we mean by when we said historically the things that's similar in this stuff, man. I think it's fascinating. But Ray Leonard literally said he went up in that thing with the mindset that Bill Haney put in his son and got tore out the frame. That Ring Magazine. I'm gonna send y'all the link, bro. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's definitely some stylistic differences or whatnot. They were different fighters, but like I say, just there were some things that were in common that kind of played out and stuff like that. But we'll go ahead and end this part right here. And
appreciate you.
Yeah, we do appreciate you. So we want to bring up two more comments from some of the viewers. So sometimes we like to address the comments in there, and then other times we like to also acknowledge when people are, giving us our props. So this one is for Henry Posadas 3309. He says, sorry for going off topic, but I love how disciplined you guys are in terms of the host making sure everyone talks and others being concise, not interrupting. Then everyone finish what they are saying without interruption and listening. This aside from being complete professionals and not biased like some other channels are. Said kudos, and I'm glad that I found your channel. Keep up the good work and excited to watch more videos. And we are excited that you are rocking with us. Henry Posadas 3309, and make sure that you do like and subscribe if you are not part of the Pundit family already. And then the last comment that we are going to take and address is from at RS Boxing 2145, and he goes in and says that Ryan deservedly makes the big money. And we can kind of talk about that. And it's like deserves, like it. If you make the big money, then it's obviously it's for a reason. But they go in and says that Gervonta is overpaid, and so we want to kind of talk about it because this is somebody who knocked out Ryan Garcia, in that instance. But let's go ahead and address this. I'll start with you with Boston Jared, and the fact that, do you think that Ryan? So from what I'm hearing, as far as the pay-per-view numbers, is that they're gonna fall, I think, around the number that I said, at least 500. They're not gonna do the 1.5 million that Oscar was touting before that, but they're gonna do pretty well. At least 500,000. I think they're going to be creeping towards that 1 million mark. But they're saying that Ryan says he's going to make between 35 and like 50 million. And then Devin Haney's brother tweeted out that, like, my brother made 35 million in 36 minutes, in a sense, just to kind of give you.
To me, that's, like you said, Cam, that's indicative of residuals from a pretty strong pay-per-view showing. So yeah, you could be onto something, man. But yeah, so what was it you want me to
address that? So he says that this is RS Boxer 2145, that Ryan deservedly makes the big money, but he counters and says that he thinks that Gervonta Davis is overpaid in there. So it kind of speaks to, do you think that through that Ryan's accomplishments and what he's done kind of garners the payments that he gets, and then vice versa? Do you think the same with Tank Davis?
Without having both of their purses up in front of me, I would, as Tank being overpaid, I'm not so sure about that, man. Tank Tank generates a lot of revenue, man. Tank,
Yeah.
whenever there's a Tank fight, it is an event. When he comes out there, he comes to Houston here, allegedly here in June 22nd. That is going to be a huge. It's going to be a huge event. When he went to Atlanta to fight, I can't remember who that was. It was a huge event. When he came to DC and fought to Luis Garcia, it was a huge event. It is very, very, very tough to put a actual price tag on a guy like Tank because of all the revenue he is responsible for generating when he shows up in your city to fight. Likewise, Ryan, given the huge social media following he has, his popularity, I think a similar argument can be made for him. It is tough to put a price tag on a guy like that because of how much revenue they're able to generate because of their respective popularity and their followings and all that stuff. So I disagree on Tank being overpaid. I think both of these guys get paid pretty accordingly. I mean, I get it. Yeah, Ryan for Dualite probably got a little bit too much, and Tank maybe earlier in his career for fights, maybe, but I'd be nitpicking. Both of these guys, I think, get paid commensurately with what they're worth, is what I would say.
I think that's good phrasing. But so let me give you an example of so for Tank Davis, so that fighter in Atlanta, so he likes to fight in Atlanta, but I think it was Barrios that he fought in Atlanta.
Yeah, it was Barrios. Yeah.
But since 2019, he has so this was at the end of 2019. So he's fought Yuriokis Gamboa, he was past it. He was 30-2 at the time. He knocked him out. He fought Leo Santa Cruz, who he fought him in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, and this was when Leo Santa Cruz, I think, was undefeated. Maybe, yeah.
No, I know he was
a
122 pounder or some shit like that.
Yeah, he was up there,
brought him up or whatever.
But he knocked him clean out, and then he fought Mario Barrios, who was undefeated at the time, and knocked him out. So Santa Cruz wasn't undefeated. He had one loss. I think that was to
the Abdamares, right?
No, I think wasn't it to the guy from England, you know who I'm talking about too, if I say his name, Frampton. Remember
Carl
that?
Frampton.
Yeah,
maybe he did lose to Frampton, but I don't know. But
that fight too. And then so he fought, and then after that he fought Isak Cruz, so that win is looking better and better and better. He didn't knock him out, but he won. It was a close decision. I mean, you're talking about 115 to 113, and then he knocked out Rolly Romero. Then he knocked out Hector Garcia, and then he knocked out Ryan Garcia. I'm like, what else does the guy need to do to prove that he is not overpaid? I mean, like, and he brings like there is an event when it comes out to it. I think with Ryan Garcia, I think that there's more of an argument that he is overpaid just because of his celebrity. And
there are many words I would use to describe Tank Davis. Overpaid is not one of those words. The guy is as valuable a boxing commodity as there is. And when Canelo steps away from the sport, he's gonna be the guy. I mean, it's gonna be him, and it's gonna be, I guess, maybe still Anthony Joshua, depending on how things shake out at heavyweight here over the next 18 months, 2 years. But Tank is going to be the guy. So yeah, now overpaid, nah, I can't agree with that.
Coach Day, what say you about that?
Y'all know how I feel about Tank.
Yeah.
I had my guns ready because I thought sideways with about my man, But
the only thing I want to say is that we're lucky that the casual Rand is not here, because he like to take shots at Tank and everything. So
and y'all be getting my blood pressure up, and but no, man, I agree with Boston. I agree with both of y'all, man. Hey, look, man, this cat got a 93% knockout You know what? He 29 and 27 or something like that, or 30 and 29, something like that, man. But he got like a 93% knockout rate, man. And one of the things that I will say about Tank, a lot of people like to tend to say, okay, yeah, look, man, he had Floyd, he was back to the first, blah 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 blah. But he still had to do what Professor Mint, just called out. He still had to perform and do some stuff, because Floyd had
bright lights come on, exactly
Floyd,
right.
Floyd had a lot of fighters under some bright lights that didn't show out like what Tank did. And then Tank is not as aggressive on that social media fan base as Brian is. And so basically Tank might have been started out just because he's been putting folks to sleep. And he might have had some little personal drama going on in his life. But no, Ryan Garcia, and to give him credit, you can call him a YouTuber, but at least he's fighting real fighters and not like what Jake Paul or whoever that chump is. You know what I'm saying? So I think both of these guys, man, Ryan might have been, dropping folks and catching them and surprising people with that left hook and being a YouTuber. He's not underpaid. The guy's exciting to watch, period. And Tank might have, minus the YouTube, but just put jokers on their butt, and I think it's worth every penny, what I'm saying, that he's been getting, man. So no amplifying comments, man. I agree with both of y'all cats,
Yeah, so Coach, so Tank is I think he's even kind of amassed where Tyson was at. So he has, out of his 29 wins, he has 27 knockouts, and that's a 93% knockout percentage. And I think at the height of Tyson Mania, I think that's even a higher knockout percentage than he had.
What's better, BF's knockout ratio?
100. Oh, well, it's triple digits, 100.
What's better be record?
What, 17-0? I think 17-0 with 17 knockouts or whatever. But
three belt unified. Soon to be undisputed.
Hey,
and still with 100% knockout ratio.
Talk to me when he gets to 29 fights, man. And,
man.
But he's fighting. He's fighting and I apologize. He's 20-0 with 20 knockouts. But so I'm gonna give you his last. So he's fighting Bivol next. Before that, he fought Caleb Smith, who had never even been knocked down in a fight, even though he had fought Canelo. He had fought Anthony Yarde, Joe Smith Jr., the one that knocked Leonard through the ropes, Marcus Brown, Alexander
Vosdick.
So he's hold on, Coach. You cutting out a little bit. Say that again.
Where he from? Sound like a whole bunch of British fighters or something, man.
Oh, man, well, yeah.
Marcus Brown wasn't British.
And Joe Smith Jr., we know
Joe Smith Jr. Man. Nah. But yeah, I bring him up only to fuck with Coach in regards to Tank. But yeah.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up this segment right here. This is the kind of, we like to call this addressing our viewer comments and everything, and we like it. We we want to even think about bringing some of y'all on to kind of like chime in for a little bit, but please keep rocking with us, and we appreciate all of your comments, and we read all of them, and when we get an opportunity, we will respond to them. But make sure that you do like and subscribe and keep rocking with the Pundits of Pugilism.